always a little cheat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Some people.
Exactly.
So those are the guidelines, essentially. And as I look around the room, I see there are. Well, Jay is on orange. Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
He is orange. Theo just got here, so I think he knows how to get here. Otherwise, I said I'll meet him on the bridge. He's
Mm-hmm.
on the way here. Carl's on blue, and you're on green. Axel, do you know how to change your status and why we do that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're muted. I don't hear you.
Yeah, I haven't heard you tonight, Axel.
I heard. Oh, there we go.
Got some static. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. There's some static, but we definitely hear you. It might be air conditioner or something like that. Anyway, I was asking, do you know so you see like if you click on someone's name, you see like there's a dot that's like blue, orange, green. So orange just means like it doesn't let people join on you essentially, and you can put in the reason where you're at, like you put bridge makers, is like what I did. Theo came in and said here and now. You can put whatever you want. We just do not disturb is okay. Well, but you could also put it just on orange if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that we do, and that just keeps people from popping in without knowing the structure, and then we have to take them aside and say, hey, this is sort of a structured event, but we're happy you're here, and explain everything to them. So.
Well, I also do think that the only friend that I have in VR chat right now is one that has been to this event before.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah.
well then, leave it on. They'll join us.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Theo,
so
welcome.
that is one of our norms, which is please be on orange. Thank you, Jay.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So who would like to also name a norm? All right.
Hey.
Jay number 1, who arrived first today.
Oh, I think the importance of candor, or generally checking in with everybody. Like the obvious example is, let us know if we can't show up. Especially if we've RSVP'd. Like we did, like you need to keep in touch and make sure we know what's going on. That's we're still in touch with one another, or at least in touch with somebody, so that we know we just to make sure that we have not inexplicably disappeared off the face of the planet. But I mean, essentially, just keeping, checking in. Even if we have to leave early, I may or may not have to do that. Hopefully, like probably till 9, because I've had a really busy weekend. But yes, is that in line with that specific norm, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, just be respectful, just check in, and be considerate of your time.
Yeah, the norm is say hello, say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. Is Carl back?
Yeah, it's all moving.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
You got Carl, the main protagonist for the Thanos movies, right? He still got that clown glove.
What?
The clown glove avatar. I was just remembering that time from Spectrum Street epistemology.
I don't know which avatar specifically you're referring to.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I know a lot of them come from stuff that I don't know, so I don't know the name.
It's all good.
Carl, you want to name a norm?
Well, it sounds like the one I was gonna use because I was AFK got used right before I got back. I think. Say hello, say goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. We got the RSVPs. They're always good. Need folks to sign up.
Yeah, we did that one.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's the problem with being AFK.
Mhm.
Uh,
We got on orange. We covered that one as well. So any of the other ones?
took all the easy ones. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I think we got the nice general. Just be kind. I think covers a lot of bases, and be
Mm-hmm.
make sure we're giving everybody the kind of grace and listening, and being thoughtful in our responses to kind of show that everyone here is fully engaged, and yeah.
Mm. Okay. So kindness has to do with presence for you today.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I notice your body language when you're back as you're using your mouse to nod your head and point your body, and that's a way to bring presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I am having a little tummy rumble, so I might be suddenly AFK, and I'll be back though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't hurt, does it?
I just been eating poorly the last couple of days. Nothing too serious.
Okay. That's honest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Theo.
Yeah. Norms very, very, very important for community reach and conversation. Having the space to use emojis or text to softly bring attention to someone who's speaking, so that they can feel like they're not lost as they're speaking. It brings a space of we hear you and we're with you to understand and to listen and to share.
Yeah. I got the feeling of that. And is that the generous part of the norms?
The use of emojis.
Oh, okay. That's the reflective listening part, which I don't think we've written in there, but yeah, that was awesome. And I saw both you and Jay erupt in emojis at the same time. It was like the initiation of emojis.
Sorry, my screen started shaking crazily.
Mm.
But it meant to be the thumbs up, and it was the smiles or laughing. I wasn't laughing at you. So
Yeah.
it was, yeah. There you go. Not sure if that's laughing or smiles. I don't know what one that is, but that's the one I
No,
hit.
like emojis are just a way of sharing the moment, like connection
Okay.
and feelings.
Yeah.
It's a good way to express out one
Yeah.
another how we're feeling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I want to go to you after this, Axel, but I just need to name this so that I'm not holding it. It's a weirdly juxtaposition moment for me that I think I'm the only one in VR right now in this circle. And I'm also.
I'm in.
Oh, are you embodied?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just your
You
little
can't
arms.
tell
I
because
can't
my little
tell.
arms.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in VR.
Um. So, if you had the stomach, if you don't, because I love you in that avatar, it does help to know that. But if you have the stomach to be in an avatar, I can see body language. That would help me. I had a moment in this meetup, probably like, when was it? Some of you were there, but it was probably about a month or two ago, where the two people embodied just kind of vanished, and I all of a sudden started having this panic response, and it took me forever to figure out why. But embodied when people are in these very kind of frozen, oh, that's so much nicer. Thank you. Because of my physiology and my training, I'm very built off of mirroring body language, and it something just goes very wrong in my physiology to be around a lot of static images that don't have the fluidity that is with. So I have never encountered that before, fully frozen avatars quite like this. Maybe in alt space, but at the same time, a lot of alt spacers were in headset. So I'd never hit that point before. And I was just like, is this a personal norm? Like, is this a rule? Like, I still don't know what to do with that awareness, but I'm so glad we figured out that you're embodied, because I can't do it. It's like literally I stop breathing and then I just can't do anything except focus on I can't be here with frozen bodies. So I don't know what to do with that, but it's still a puzzle for me. And thank goodness it's not the full puzzle today. So thank you for hearing me. Please don't take that as a shame response for any of you. I'm glad you're here as best as you can be. And if you ever think, if you do have a headset and you think, should I be in body or should I be on desktop? If you're going to be around me and it's not too much trouble, throw your headset on. Because I have a problem where I have a lot of trouble being on desktop and being present at all, because my mind is in many other places, and B, I can't facilitate on desktop. It's just very odd for me. It's like my body, my sense of being connected to the rhythm just cannot plug in. So I have some limitations that maybe other people don't, but I say that, and then the reality is that might have to change. I've been a lot sicker more frequently lately, so that might need to change. But for now, that's my norm I'm struggling with, and I will stop skipping the line here. And Axel, your turn.
Actually, that tied beautifully into what I was going to say, which is accessibility for everyone, that to just be and to meet everyone with where they're at the present moment.
I'm glad I went before you. Because you're right, they are kind of complementary, especially because what I was scared of didn't happen to be completely true because of my dear friend Jay, and he knew I'm not feeling good, and so I think he equipped up. You do come in on desktop quite a bit, but you realize yep, I'm losing it a little over here. So yeah, trying to be with each other where they're at, and also recognizing we have our own limits and needs. This is real. So
yeah. And I have a cat on my lap, so if he's moving around, you're going to see my hands moving around. So he just wants to be here.
Oh, kitty.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, your turn.
Another norm? Okay. So, we didn't cover them all? I thought we did. Maybe.
No, there's still a few left. There's substance use and streaming and...
Oh, yeah. So, we always
generosity.
Make sure that we're not recording or taking pictures with the name tags on. So if you're taking pictures or you're recording anything, make sure the name tags are off. And we pretty much don't really allow recording unless it's the facilitator. If I'm clear about that. So
yeah.
So I don't want to add too, because it's kind of not intuitive. People understand that it's actually more respectful and protects people's privacy to have the name tags off. That was something I started realizing when I took pictures from social events.
Yeah, thank you. And also for me, aesthetically, having name tags off captures the kind of fingerprint of the soul of the moment, if that doesn't feel too esoteric. Like, it's about acknowledging that every moment we're in here together, we are an art piece with how close we are to each other, with how we put our bodies near each other, like mirroring each other or not. This is art. And I know for some people it feels better to be able to see name tags, but for me, I think I love to feel what you can express without, in physical reality, I would never see your name above your head. And I like to have the challenge, but get to know you slower. And, Axel, you've been wearing that avatar for, I think, at least 3 times since I've seen you. And I think that avatar will always be you for me, even if you change it. And you might. Most people do change their avatars over time, but there's just a whole vibe to that avatar that I'm pairing with your voice. And so, yeah, I get to know you, but I also get to know how you choose to express yourself. And I feel things when you change that. And it's all beautiful, but it is art. Yeah. And we do stream these events. So, behind Axel and Jay, number 2 today, we've got a camera up. We can wave at the camera if we feel like it. And this is just a way to be a bridge to the physical reality and give people who can't be here or present a chance to join us in a more gentle way. But also a way to stay accountable, like we could pretend that things aren't being recorded, but we never really know. So this is a way for us all to stay very clear that we're on a stage. But it doesn't mean we have to be performing. We can still be real, but we can also stay conscious of, we don't know who's going to see this. And that can feel really weird sometimes for people. I definitely get a lot of kickback sometimes on it, but ultimately, I've been around the block so many times on this that I've just realized that for my own self-protection and my own value of this process and what we're doing, this is a kind of standard for bridge makers. We are transparent and we show our process even when it's messy. It's like a record of our evolution to some degree. So thank you for participating in that journey with us. And I've enjoyed the new norm that just kind of has started to show up is when we get our picture at the end, we all wave at the people out there. And that just gives me so much joy to know that whoever followed us to the end gets to feel us saying hello to them and thanking them for joining us. So I look forward to that moment. Okay, I think those are our main norms today. Something about our chemistry for the moment. I'm actually picking up a little steam, so that's nice. But I am sick, so I may have to bow out earlier tonight, and I'm sure you will all hold the moment together. But this is a time where we shift into community pain points. What is the biggest ache or just most on your heart today on what is hard about building community? And just the overall time window for this usually is about 1 to 2 minutes. And then we're all going to listen together to what you share. And one person is going to hopefully volunteer to reflect that back. So when we do reflective listening, the recipe for that is what I heard you say is, and then after I say what I heard you say, I get to say, did I get that? And what that does is it helps me find out if I reflected you back in a way where you feel acknowledged. What reflective listening isn't intended to be is advice or fixing each other, which can be really uncomfortable. And I recognize that that is an odd exercise when we have such a little window to share our pain. Why can't we just soothe and give balm to that pain? And this is a very rare moment in life where you're going to be held to a container to practice not fixing each other or assuming or believing that we have the answer for each other. And by not giving the answer for each other, we get to walk away with the mystery that there may have been 5 different answers here for one problem I mentioned, that I can now try to wonder what those answers maybe would have been for each of you. So by not fixing it, it allows us to feel a deeper wisdom inside of us and seek those answers. And sometimes I hear on the grapevine, and as I've done this for years, people will reach out to each other afterwards if they're really feeling the burden of empathy, and they'll just say, "Hey, how are you?" And I have some feedback. Are you open to that? Or you can even tell people, "Wow, this is really hurting, and I'm open to feedback if you want to reach out to me later." But here, the request is to hold the pause and just give back what you heard and practice that muscle, trusting that my path brought me here and it will bring me the healing I need, and your path brought you here and it will bring you the healing you need. So that's my long-winded explanation for reflective listening. But who would like to start with their pain point?
Oh, I had 3 different mutes on. Okay. Hello.
Wow.
Sure, I can go first.
All right.
And I think mine is kind of still just like a continuation of last week. With my Sundays gone, I feel like most of the main things that I kind of checked in and felt, justified my existence are I'm not able to do. So.
Yeah.
And at the same time, over on my main server, we had a little bit of issue come up with a couple members. Nothing like involving like people I knew, but that kind of rolled into the conversation of mentioning a couple certain mods who were quite inactive. That turned into a check-in on everybody, so we're all kind of doing that evaluation.
Wow. Huh. Yeah.
And on top of all that, my tummy hurts.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you, Carl. Would like to reflect Carl back to him. All right, Theo.
That's seems like so much going on for you, Carl. It's like out of what you're kind of expecting out of your weeks too. It kind of disappoints you a little bit, is what I heard, and a bit of it feels frustrating to kind of have so many issues with the community you represent too, with those members, and how to get the steam off of 2 individuals that got a situation too heated in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of that's like low level, but just like the usual kind of dealing with stuff that comes up, But I'd say the main point that was missed there is it's more of like last week I said uprooted, just kind of listless, trying to find a new rhythm.
Mm. Yeah, I
So,
can resonate pretty well with that.
So Theo, one of the ways that we get to reflect back is actually to give keywords back. I'm curious if that feels like how that is for you to give people their words back instead of responding to their words. What's it like to just say you feel uprooted and you feel like your tummy aches and you feel a sense of there's a lot happening in ancients.
I kind of thought I was doing that.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't vocalize the words enough.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think you're really gifted at trying to find the empathy of the emotions underneath. But those, what I just heard Carl say is like the listlessness. You may not be feeling a lot of emotions right now. It might just be like, these are the data points. Well, so, yeah. Thank you for your...
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of care in what you're offering, and there's a way to try to meet people where they're at with what they're saying. I used to think that if I gave people their words back, they'd be like, yeah, I just said that. But if I reflect them their words back with emotion, then that's not what they just said. If I'm like,
there's kind of
rude.
like like a half joke, half real thing. Like I've seen it as like advice for like autistic people to help with conversations. But there's in the Metal Gear Solid games, the main character, to like kind of continue the script, often like they'll say a bunch of stuff and whatever like the last thing that he said was to him, he'll just like repeat that with a question mark. And then after all that, he'd just be like, question mark? And then the conversation would continue from there. Like,
nice. Yeah, I'm just going to take the last piece. Yeah. And I love that Carl, you're like, and there's the uprooted part, which is kind of probably making everything else a little hard right now. I mean, the keywords I heard today also is justify my existence. That's, you speak in such a neutral tone most of the time that the intensity of those words doesn't really catch very easily. But those are big words. They're hard words, like that sense of identity loss. I belong here. Now I don't know if I belong here. That's tough. And it's floaty. Yeah.
That's definitely a word I'd use.
Yeah. It makes it almost, if you were a tree right now, it makes me want to go growl at your roots. Be like, get them in the ground. But that would be me fixing it. So I won't growl at your roots. I'll just let you float there. Quite literally. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Carl. And I was just telling Jay earlier, I'm feeling very floaty. So, yeah. Who else would like to share their pain point? Yeah, Theo.
Yes, I could.
Oh.
If you want to
go. You go. I usually go most times.
Okay.
Go, Axel.
So aside from being in like my master program and whatnot, as I was my pain point last week, this week I also tutor. I tutor math, so like calculus and all of that fun stuff. And I recently had a student who was just so lost. Like, it was really hard to figure out where they were. And on like a not just like on like where they it felt like they were searching for where they wanted to go in life. And like that was just really hard for me to just because like I don't really exactly know how to put it into words. It was just I think that was just my pain point. It was just hearing how lost they sounded.
Wow. Calculus existential crisis. Yikes. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud, but that's what came to my brain. I guess I was reflecting you back there. I've been there, so I feel bad for my calculus tutor back then because I'm like, I wonder if I was venting about not knowing what I was doing and where I was going, but that must have been really awkward for them. Especially if they're empathic, right? Because even if I'm just saying it flippantly, they're just trying to show me how equations work. And I'm just like, but does numbers even matter?
I'm resonating too much to this story. Like, this is painting. Like, I sound like I'm the student in this story.
I've been that student. And I as the student, I feel empathy for the awkwardness I'm bringing to the tutor. And then I'm just like, this isn't working. And then I go away and we both feel bad. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's makes my belly feel like it turns into a pretzel. Yeah, Jay, you're raising your...
It already feels like that.
Well, okay, so just to make sure I understand, you're tutoring the student in a math class, and you said they don't know. It's not that they are aimless or that they have no earnest, but they just don't they want to go somewhere and they have no idea where that what direction they need to go in. You said lost. I'm trying to think like with that like they don't understand what their purpose might be. It's possible that they're afraid they have no purpose, or they're feeling this kind of existential despair. Is that an act? And you're very afraid on their behalf, or you hurt on their behalf. Is that an accurate description of what's your pain point?
That is very accurate. Yes.
Well done, Jay.
Yeah, I am such an empathic person that like I can just get your energy just by like how you speak, and then it just affects me, and then we're all on the journey together.
You're like, now I'm lost with you, and I'm supposed to be your guide, and my brain isn't working anymore because I'm just feeling your lostness with you. Yeah, that's so real. Wow. Yeah, thank you for the heartbreak, Theo. I definitely am. I don't know, it's so deep.
Very.
Yeah.
Part of my thoughts with that too, I've thought into that same space of being lost is feeling like you have no control over your life. And that can be just so deeply, you lose yourself, the identity, the world. You're kind of floating away from it in some feelings.
Yeah. And I'm in school right now, and I've noticed that the lost feeling is viral. So when a student is lost, it ricochets into the instructor who also feels lost. And then that spreads to the whole group. And this can happen in the matter of like 30 seconds in a class moment. And then there's just this like really awkward spacing out for everybody of like, what are we all doing here? What's the point of this? Like, does higher education even exist anymore? Like it's a weird kind of electrical seizure of the space emotionally, and then it keeps going, but the energy is lost a little bit. There's a leakage going on. And so you're dealing potentially with that kind of, I don't know, it feels like a vine of black wholeness that can grow very quickly through a social space. And even though it disappears, there's still some residual of it every time it hits, like a tongue reaching out. It's very odd and unsettling, I guess. Yeah. So I didn't have that in my undergrad years as much. It was way more established, and it was way more, if you're lost, you're an individual lost in a very solid system. And now everything feels just kind of shaky. So it's not like you can go lean against an instructor or a system that seems to know we're supposed to be here all acting these parts. So it's like, who do you howl at? Who do you complain at when the system itself feels like it's crumbling a bit? It's just impossible. It's like reality is disintegrating. I'm feeling so lost right now. I think we are amplifying you. I'm just like, what's the point of any of this? Oh my God.
You literally had me over here like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's so contagious, right? It travels in the emotion and the vibration in the air, in the body language. It's so intense to sit with it even for a few seconds. I'm like pushing the air out because I don't know how to get back in. All right. Who wants to go next? We've got some big bombs of pain today. They're just like festering in the middle.
Yeah, if I had raised my hand right before.
Yeah, go ahead, Theo.
Yeah. So, been going to therapy on Tuesday. That was my first session, and you know, it's interesting, like going back on therapy and seeing like where I need to work on some things, like within myself that it gets too tight roped around sort of feelings or thoughts that I have. Important to kind of address them and to represent them out of a way that has any grounding. And still dealing with I guess like dealing more with relationship problems of people trying to reframe and understand again like how important it is with our words and our direction of consciousness, like how to constantly move to that and to not be what I feel like I've noticed more is, especially with my personality and talking to people, is that there's something like kind of barbed wired about the way my perspective can be and how my words can be, and also my actions and a lot of my presence. And sometimes I'm sitting back thinking, do I really need a presence here? Not as a way that's hurtful to me, but as a curiosity, because I tend to like not recognize maybe the space always needs itself before it can have join spaces together within who I am and what I do. But at the same time, I also get really scaredly labeled, thinking, if I let go, where will I go?
It's good shit. I like it. I mean, it's painful, but it's good stuff you're looking at. That's really important. It's deep. Anyone want to take a crack at that? There's about 5 concepts there that are like all
yeah, I'll give it a shot, but I feel like I'm only gonna get like 2 of them. But
I'll help you, Carl.
sure, yeah. I don't know. At least at the beginning there, I heard some similarities with mine. Kind of a little bit of trying to find your place and trying to find how your puzzle piece fits.
Mm. Mm.
And maybe some fear there as you're maybe noticing that other people don't quite always pick things up the way you're putting them down. Sometimes I get that kind of brick wall of reception where you're putting out a whole lot and then other folks give you back just like the neat. You just said a whole lot and I didn't hear any of it. But, so yeah, I mean that was the bits that resonated to me, and I admit I'm not 100% tonight. So
Yeah. Why don't you check out of the bits you did get? Did Dio feel heard on those?
Right. Did that resonate with you? Was there maybe main points you want to highlight that I might have missed?
There you go. Good.
Yeah, the part about saying what I want to say and not feeling like it was heard being said too. But some of the thing like that I truly want to resonate more within what I said is we're always in a space that has to watch our words so much, and how we can very much connect, because I think like the notion of connection has to be consciously regarded or maintained, and how many times we tend to fall out of that because of fear of ourselves or others' actions and connections that hurt the side of us that is already hurting, and so it's continuing a prolonged and pro-connected hurt that we're not working with together.
Gotcha. Thanks for elaborating there.
And Carl, it's interesting to me that you gave a metaphor of a brick wall, because I heard Theo's metaphor as a barbed wire. And it's just a really interesting juxtaposition that echoed in you that way. When you said barbed wire, Theo, I thought about mist, and as a complementer to the barbed wire, where I have told you sometimes I feel like I'm swimming in clouds when you speak. But in your metaphor there, I was like, oh, that's actually really useful. There's a paradox. If you're realizing, wait, I feel like the mist loving on the rusty barbed wire and being like, hey, barbed wire, we all feel pokey sometimes. And people are like, stop poking me. I'm just a mist. And so you're realizing, wait, maybe I am the barbed wire. And like, how do I freaking connect with people? And the bigger piece where I was, cussing there for a moment was, how do I let the space take up its space and not feel erased, because the space just needs to exist. And
some of the tears or scratches the barbed wire is doing to addressing that before addressing being in a space that needs more than just what I'm giving to it, or what I can give to it.
Yeah. And then the concrete piece out of your story was you're back in therapy and you're getting some mirrors and insights to what you want to be focusing on and growing yourself in. that's important right now. So sometimes the deep soul searching part about connection can also be grounded by just echoing a story back to somebody you got back in therapy. That's no small thing. In the
And
hot
it'll
seat.
be a lot of work too.
It can be, yeah. You're all making me take deeper breaths today. Appreciate it. Okay. Who else wants to share their pain points? We got Jay and Jay. Eeny, meeny, no, I'm not going to say that one. That actually has racist connotations. I forget what they are, but yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it does. Be careful with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's to
Okay.
say the original rhyme was not catch a tiger by its toe.
Oh, right. That was it.
Boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's really
gosh.
bad.
Oh,
Be
just
really
somebody
careful
new.
with that.
Oh my god. Who is this?
That's Lau.
Uh,
He'll find us.
Lau.
But it's cool. Lau's
Okay.
here. Lau never comes to
Well,
us. Yeah.
okay. Well, I did want to say, okay, so, actually, did get back from a very good, convention. I go every, and every Labor Day weekend I go to, for, Method
Jay got
for
it.
Meat.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, Jay. No, I apologize. I was telling Theo that Jay respond. The other Jay.
Oh, okay.
There's two
Okay.
Jays. It's gonna be confusing. Yes,
Right.
you go
Okay,
ahead. I'm here.
Okay. But yes, and it actually turned out to be, each year it gets a little bit better, than the last, ever since 22. But, the thing is, I've been actually, wondering, struggling with this feeling that, with all the, the love and, companionship I've been given,
In depth.
I don't know just how am I ever gonna pay this, like, pay it forward. How am I gonna be able to, give it back? Like I try to, make thank you gifts, draw thank you pictures for people, when I can, but, a lot, even when I am able to do that, I just wonder, is this enough? Is this, you know, giving enough back? And I know that's pretty abstract, but just, I just wonder if I'm actually giving them their due appreciation.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Who would like to reflect J number 1 back to J? Who hasn't reflected back yet? And now is here. Woo! Hello.
I guess I could try.
Go for it, Axel.
So what I heard you say that really connected to me was the sense of being in a community where you feel like you have given, but yet it still feels like it's not enough. And then it comes back to the questioning of, is how I am showing up and everything that I'm doing enough in this moment? I feel like, I feel like that's what I got from you. Is that kind of what you were getting at?
Yeah, I think so. Just maybe I might add, am I actually contributing to the to the growth of this relationship, or the community overall? I mean, can't have one-on-one with literally everybody, but just...
Yeah, I loved what you reflected back, Axel. And there was a first part to what Jay said that's easy to miss because we're listening for pain points. Did anybody catch that first part? the first part that I heard, Jay, which seems important, was you had a really good experience where you felt just like seen and flooded with like it was community moment. Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Tekchi, Chenchi. Welcome. Have a seat on our watery bed if you'd like to join us.
Let me get
Yeah, no
here.
worries.
This is more appropriate here.
And if you don't mind putting yourself on orange, that would be helpful to just so we make sure that we're able to orient people when they come. But we're glad you're here.
Actually,
Nobody
didn't
reminded me.
know what
I
I'm
was
joining
on
on, so I was just kind of
earlier
joining a
on
friend.
blue.
That's okay. Oh, did you say you're taking off, or you're just?
Oh no, so I don't want to interrupt. I wasn't invited, so I
No,
don't know
no.
what's going on.
You're very welcome here. This is a semi-structured event where we are talking first about pain points as community builders. We share just like one thing that's aching for us.
Did you say penguins? I'm sorry.
Pain points, just like what are the ick kind of moments about building community?
Oh, pain points.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then we practice reflective listening. So we're not going to fix it. We're not going to give you advice. We're just learning how to echo each other back and make sure we're hearing each other. And then the second part of our event, in about somewhere in the next 15 minutes or so, is we'll maybe go to some worlds and ask ourselves a question about how the world actually shapes community. And we do a little play, but we also we do the thing nobody does in here, which is really look at how the spaces affect our sense of community with each other. So you're welcome to stick around. Yeah. And Jay was just sharing next. And Jay, was that important, that piece that I pulled out, that you had a really beautiful moment with your community?
Yes, just the very first part being, I got something, that like, and the reason that means a lot to me was, at the con I did have a moment like I felt just super alone, like I hadn't connected with anybody, but all I had to do was talk to the volunteer coordinator, because I did volunteer a little bit handing out snacks, but yeah, I told her I'm having a hard time, finding somebody to talk to. It's, I had a little bit of a breakdown. And just that permission to tell somebody I'm doing less than okay without being told to cheer up or being scolded for not, pulling my weight. That makes a humongous difference. And I just want to know, like, where can I, pay that forward? And I do one fair warning. I am gonna have to go to bed pretty soon. As soon as we're done reflecting, but I do want to meet one-on-one sometime. But yeah, I just do want to finish this one round. But yes, that was a very crucial part to
yeah. Lovely. And I just want to point out this moment of going like, this is why we're doing reflective listening, right? Because even though we think everybody wants to be fixed when we share the pain we're in, we miss each other a lot of times when we try to fix it immediately. And what you did there, choosing to stay vulnerable and tell the truth about who you were, then flipped you into a different pain point. I don't know how to give back because I took so much in here, and now I'm scared I'm not able to contribute enough, as opposed to I'm scared I don't belong here. So it's a different kind of scared, but it's an overwhelm of like gratitude and can I keep coming back to this? And that's the lovely part about pausing before we fix it, that the person who showed up for you didn't fix it. They just validated you. They let you be there. And that opened you so you could take the support in. Yeah. So lovely. I'm proud of you if that matters at all. I think you're really making
Yes.
a lot of progress.
Well, thank you,
Um,
thank you, thank you.
That's lovely. So good. Yay.
Well, I do need
You need
to
to
go to
sleep.
bed, but
Yeah.
hopefully, like to meet. I would like to meet, again, sometime. I just have a very tangled up week. Parents out
Schedule.
of town, my businesses. Yes, but yes, I will see you all. Probably, or those of you who can make it at the Spectrum Street, Sunday.
Sunday.
But yes, yes, it
Yay.
was good seeing you all again here. Okay, and
Jay,
have a good
have a
night.
good
Night,
evening.
Jay.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Meet you.
And then there
Agreed.
was, one J left. We're down to one J, everyone.
That's 2 J's.
Now there's one. J.
Yeah, there's 2. Remember?
You are restored to J number 1.
Oh.
There was two J's, yes. Jay, would you like to share your pain point, or Lao, or even Tenchi, if you have one? What is aching
Well,
for?
I'd like to hear a couple more examples,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, you're getting the gist of
I
it.
understand.
No worries. No worries.
We appreciate you coming, though.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Technically, Theo is the second J. Ha! Well, kind of, but shush. Okay. So, yeah, Lau, would you like to share yours?
Pain points, community.
Yeah.
Keep me if you feel like it, because my
Oh,
Hope you cut out.
and you died.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
Or something sad. It's interesting to see Lau go into metamorphosis over there.
Or he took the headset off, maybe. That's what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Something.
Lau is on a walkabout right now after finishing his Helper 1 experience with Bridgemakers. So it's magical to have walkabout people reappear. It's like, oh, you're still around.
Walking on water.
Walking on water. Jay, why don't you go? And we'll come back to Lau.
Okay. Lau, are you back?
I am back. She was
okay.
asking for my umbrella.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm thinking about the pain points that I have. The community right now I created is completely frozen. No activity, no chat. Because I had some drama with people. I had some drama with some of the active members, or I would say it's my moderator, my only moderator. So I've been thinking more about the community, that I would eventually revive it, but also that I am much more aware that I should put my personal things outside of the community. But that also, it just kind of hits me off, because like, it just feels off, just because like maybe I can show my real self, but I cannot be as transparent as I want. As I surely will be honest, but the transparency is a thing that I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So yeah. The drama just happened, like, I believe weeks ago. I am fully recovered. I'm so shocked that I recovered such fast, because I thought it would be getting me down for a long while, but I'm good now. I'm really fine now.
Oh, wow.
Now, my community, there's one thing, it's just that as a leader, I cannot move on because I'm focusing on my in real life stuff, and there is no one other than me is gonna take the lead. So it kind of gets into an awkward situation. But I believe I will wake this server up once I'm done with my, I guess, first semester. So yeah, or maybe during first semester. I'll see.
All right. Who wants to try reflecting loud back to loud?
These communities are they particular
Everybody's
kinds of
looking at-
communities.
What'd you
Are they-
say, Techie? Tenji?
What kinds of communities are you guys talking about? Like separate ones, or ones you've made personally?
Yeah.
Do they specifically relate to VR chat, or is it just in general, or is it for like a social media presence, like a VTuber or something? I'm
Not
just trying
necessarily. They're just kind of online communities of various forms, and it's really just about the practice of community building more than it is about the specific subjects and just what
Yeah,
happens.
all of the
yeah.
above.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk about my kids or work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it sounded like
Nice.
how do you pronounce your name? Shao,
Lao.
Lowing or Lao?
No.
You can just call me Lao.
No, okay, Lao. Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to make yourself heard more in your community. Is that something I was trying to do? I get that right?
I wouldn't say it's like heard more from them or like let them heard me more, hear me more, but it's more of a I would want to take my time and my momentum to pause and look at everything while I want to. I would say my power is not enough. It is a one-man leader. There's no helpers. There's no moderator right now. So all I could do is really just witness or observe or maybe make a plan. It is. I would say it's really a tough journey because from the start, I already had some problem with another moderator. And this one, it is just a complete mess. I observed and I analyzed it. It is really not my fault. It is just, I would say, we all have our journey and personality, and they could not understand me. They are not kind and they are not familiar with me. Even though I try to be as neutral and as objective as possible, their feelings seems to matter more than mine and like my whole. So eventually they left me.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you, Tenchi, for giving that a go. We keep practicing, and I'm going to support you there and offer that back to Lau also. That I just noticed, in addition to maybe that piece about wanting to feel heard, that Tenchi felt you didn't feel heard. You felt erased and unkindness back from the person you were trying to lead, and now you're in this one man show and you are really struggling with how to hold this frozen community, go do classes, and also some surprise with how the community froze. You're realizing that the initial wound of that you've healed from much quicker than you expected. You thought that this was going to really sit with you for a long time. And so you're realizing that's uncomfortable, but I believe it can revive at the right time. And I need to focus on building physical community with my classes right now. And I'm looking for when will be that window to go back in and be like, all right, I've got a vision. Let's get this machine going again. How to start the engine back up.
Yes.
Yeah,
that covers most of them. I have also thought about, why not be a leader in real life other than focusing on online community. That would be much more achieving, but it will be stressful for sure. I will see how.
Yeah, anybody who can find those opportunities to practice physical reality leadership, you will have so much more insight into online leadership when you do it in physical, and vice versa. People who only do physical reality leadership are missing some of just the nitty gritty, subtle pieces about working with people online that really can bond the physical reality community. But they're just like, oh no, only when we're at our events. And why don't people RSVP? Which, you know, I do that in both places. But, you know, they don't realize that the nurturing in these days is needed in both places to actually keep it going. And so, yeah, you're going to be in a system that allows you opportunities like that. And you might want to keep that on pause for a little while longer while you learn the physical kind of vibes of head to toe leadership, you know? So
I'll try my best. Yeah. It's great to like try to learn, even though like it might lead to something, but I still feel passionate about it.
yeah, lovely. Lovely. Thank you for sharing. Well, Jay, Tenchi, would you like to share a pain point? Either of you? Both of you? One at a time?
Well, I guess in general, I have a community that I started based off of VTube personality and channel that I started setting up, and I've only been doing it for a couple months, and I only have like a few people in my server, so no, I'm not really at that level where I need a moderator like he was. Like I was saying, that's not that big, not even close to being that big or anything. But this might just be just ignorance on my part. But I'm having a hard time like figuring, because I wasn't like a Twitter person or anything like that, or really into Discord that much. I'm having a hard time getting or recognizing like who's real and who's a bot, or getting a lot of that, and that's been a big pain point because I tend to like get discouraged from even wanting to like try to interact with people because 99% of them are just spammers, or you know, especially on like Twitter and all that. But
yeah,
that's a little bit of a pain point, I guess, at the top of my head.
Totally a pain point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
Anybody
can be
wanna-
discouraging.
Absolutely, especially the first community to start building.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I heard a lot of like self-doubt in here. I'm not sure if it's true, but I feel like you're not thinking that your community is a community because it's not big enough.
Well, I just started it too, but yeah, I guess that is probably true. Just because there's only a few people in it right now, but like I said, I just started, right, and that's not really a problem. But just the whole, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm naive or something because I just don't detect, or I'm not able to find more people. Like that's also the thing. Like trying to find people who are genuine and actually want to talk and actually want to be friends. Because it seems like so many people are just trying to sell you something, or you know, all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of a pain point. But
that's so true. You were going to say something, Jay?
I can suggest one thing. I do not expect myself to share this, but I saw one Twitter like whole tweet about Ludwig, if you know that streamer on Twitter. He just start a whole new channel, and when he started it, it's so hopeless because there's just totally zero viewers other than bots.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
the biggest streamers in the world who stream to nobody for like 6 hours on a new channel.
Yeah,
that's what's happening to me too, for sure. Yeah, it's just emptiness.
Heck. Yeah. And Jay, you had something?
Well, I was just going to address that it's a lot of effort to start a new community when you're not even sure if you're attracting real people that are there for the same reason that you wanted to start the community in the first place. That's what I'm hearing. So, and then also that there's a frustration with feeling like the way of connecting isn't naturally happening the way that you want it to. So it feels to me when I hear you talk about it, it's like, should I even put all this energy into it because it's frustrating because I have to have a learning curve myself. And if I'm, but sometimes, when I hear that, I also see it as an opportunity, but I'm not going to try to fix. I also see it as an opportunity to learn as we grow. Learn as we grow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I do feel like I have been learning a lot. Like I said, both what it takes to be a VTuber and a streamer and all that kind of stuff, and all the technical stuff and all of that. And I am definitely new at building social communities, so that's actually way more complicated than I realized.
Are you new to Discord as well?
I mean, using it at this level, like creating a
as
server,
an admin. Yeah, exactly.
like all that kind of stuff. New to just everything: Twitter, Instagram. I had a YouTube channel before I created this one, so I've done that for a while. But
yeah. Well, thank you. There's a there's an important part that I really value of being the space that you stumbled across, but you're in the right place right now. Like, we exist for these moments of early community building where people don't even identify as community builders many times when they come here. And then they hear Carl talk about his family, or they hear somebody talk about an interaction on the street, and our frame of what community building starts to expand, or a moment with a calculus tutor snafu, like that community building is in every interaction. But when we don't own that we're part of that bridging, then we become kind of victims of patterns we're not even tracking. And so this is a place where we start to look at those patterns and notice, like Lau said over there, like Lau expected that the pain of the community moment he had a few weeks ago was going to last a really long time. And he's surprised. He's like, I'm better. And if we don't have these places to check in regularly, then it could be filed in Lau's awareness as, I'm still in pain, because I really just haven't checked in with anybody about how that hemorrhage, how that scar is doing. And so he might be even further away from going back to that community because he didn't have a place to really acknowledge, that's better now. So this is exactly what we're here for, is to be in the kind of ick and the like, I don't know what I'm doing, and say that with each other together, and not have all the solutions thrown at us of like, oh, Google this and do this and whatever. Because the emotional effort of building community is much higher of a cost than the technical abilities itself. And we don't, but I want everybody to learn they are a community builder, because even if they dabble in starting a community 10 times over the next 20 years, they will appreciate their community leaders at a whole other level. They will start to realize like what this person must be carrying to hold space for all the, we know how to do it better than you, just get out of the way, and starting to really comprehend, oh my God, we do not know how to do it better than you. and how to learn from the people that are sitting in the middle, because it is a profoundly exhausting labor that half the time, from people who have been building community for decades, like Jay and I and Carl, it's a realization of like, sometimes it feels a little nuts to do this. Sometimes it feels a little bit like I must be the messed up one to keep pouring myself out to people that which I'm not going to get too far down that path, because that turns into my community pain point, but pouring myself out, like it's a hard, especially digital communities. That is an incredibly, it is an act of faith to to try to throw a bridge out into a vacuum and be like, it'll stick, it'll work, it'll be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Sometimes it feels like a black hole.
Yeah, I said vacuum to soften it because I didn't want to scare you, but okay, yes, that was my actual thought. So, you know, it is an amazing thing that we try to build community through these spaces, and at times it feels very foolish. And if we do not have a place to name that, then we start to swallow that poison and believe that we're just really bad at it. And that is such a terrible way for a community leader to leave being a leader. But it is the normal and most common way most leaders step away. And so Bridge Makers is really just about that pause of saying, what if before we get to the end, we get to be with each other for a moment and say, me too. It hurts. It's insane. And I'm with you. That's all we're doing here. Oof. So, Jay, what's your pain point?
Wow, I could relate to so many of the pain points that were shared today. Yeah. And so, picking one out of all of that to reflect back on what mine are, interesting because I would say I'm in a new community now where this community is different for me because for the most part I've always been in communities where I'm behind a name or I'm behind a role and behind an avatar, and this community that I'm a part of is very much on camera. And even on camera when they're gaming, camera, everything. And that's not something that I've actually stepped forward to do. And everybody's so curious who's behind the J screen name and all of this stuff. And I feel like that so many of them have given so much in conversation and put themselves out there. And so this kind of touches on Tenji's point about craving authentic connection. And I feel like I've got, I'm like trying to get them all come to VR, enjoy, see the next evolution of gaming and all that. They're told that no, we don't want to put the headset on. We don't get the headset. Some of them want to, but others don't, right? So it's interesting because I'm like, wow, when do I actually show up the way that they've shown up? And did I sign up for this? Because now I'm in like a leadership role and all this other stuff, and it's just like it's a lot. And some of these people have actually traveled long distances to meet up and actually came to LA, and they're like, Jay, we're in LA, we want to meet you and all that. And I was not ready for it. Yeah. And we're talking East Coast to West Coast.
Wow.
It's unbelievable what has happened with this community. So I feel like, wow, I'm this mystery man, but at the same time, there's a part of me that thrives in knowing that you can connect and build relationship just based on the essence of your personality and your voice. It has nothing to do with your physicality, anything to do with other than that. But because they're putting themselves out there so much like that, I feel pressured to do the same, and then I also feel guilted when I don't. So that's a big thing to lay on y'all. But I've shared it in bits and pieces after our gaming events and stuff like that. But yeah,
especially that last part that you said about like showing your actual, physical face and everything. I totally get that. I'm not all that comfortable with it either. That's why I've got like the VTube avatars and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That point about being able to connect like just with your voice, your thoughts, all that kind of stuff. That's exactly like what I wanted to do, like with my VTubing channel, is just to have that kind of dialogue with community and be able to kind of say some of the things that are on my mind, like things that are bothering me, and be able to get some feedback. Hopefully not all terribly negative. Sometimes that happens, right? But yeah.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jay, did you feel heard by Tenchi? Was there anything?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also just heard that there's a vitality to this group they're gamers, but they're on camera gamers, and they're like
Yes.
flying to the other coast, gamers, and Jay's just like, what the heck is this? And like,
Yeah.
it's a storm of people that are really sincere and vital in multiple levels of showing up, and
Yeah.
part of you is enthralled with that, kind of sucked into it, but another part of you is going, but you all don't know that there can be a whole other way to connect, and I'm going to hold that corner. And so
Yeah.
how it can I belong with you when this is my corner right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those. Really good stuff, everyone. Such a rich circle tonight of just honesty. You know, this is what I think is really cleansing for me in coming and doing this with all of you every week. It's like the value of telling the truth and standing in that ache. It is a type of de-poisoning ourselves of the isolation of those thoughts that there's nowhere else we're really invited to share. Tell me why it's not working, but don't even tell me why it's not working. Just tell me what's not working, and we'll hold it together with you. One-on-one pain point sharing becomes a bitch fest or a gripe, fest or whatever. It can turn into we sink each other with it. But when we hold as a group and we don't make it better, it becomes this celebration of relief to some degree of like, I say it because I let it go. And now I'm going to see what grows next through me. This is my truth, and there's more truth there. So we're releasing each other by witnessing each other to become a new version of ourselves. Does that make sense? Just having a moment to acknowledge each other and not make it better. It's such a paradox because when we hurt, we want to feel better. But there's a way by having a circle with the ache that it can shift. I believe
I
that
think
deeply.
that's a good point, especially with sometimes I find this to be true for myself. Is if I just tell someone honestly what's bothering me, it doesn't matter what it is, that does feel like there's like a weight, but it also feels like it opens up the possibility of working towards resolving whatever the core issue is.
It can.
Just
Yeah.
just
It's
vocalizing it.
sometimes getting it out allows us to have enough space to take in something new or see what else was underneath that thing without the other person fixing it, because we're all holding it together, letting it sink it deep into this fake water. So yeah, I'm seeing if I need to share any pain points other than what I all have kind of inserted in with each of you. So I'm just going to check in with myself for a moment because we're definitely beyond our hour, and I feel so fed from the authenticity that each of you brought that it's hard to get into my own ache when I'm just like, wow, we've had the whole rainbow today. Let's see. I will say it's echoing off of yours, Carl. I definitely feel like the Bridgemaker's forest is very quiet right now. Like a lot of the trees have lifted and kind of floated off. And I was talking to Jay earlier today about this is maybe the first community almost standstill point. I don't feel like Bridgemakers is frozen, but it's definitely very quiet right now. And it's maybe the first community moment I've ever had as a community builder that I'm not worried about it. I definitely experienced these waves of kind of sadness, like I have almost gotten addicted to the stimulus of checking the Discord and seeing there's another thing to do and being in that rhythm. And so there's a part of me that's just like looking in the door of where that common space is and being like, nothing's changed again. is anything gonna ever change again? And so I think there's a young part of me that's just like, the party's over, and kind of pouty about it a little bit. But I also notice that there's a peacefulness in me for maybe the first time in my life in building a community that is very quiet, that is like, it's balanced between some sadness and aches of like drama and hard moments that have happened that have influenced some of the distancing happening. But there's also a part of me that is like so grateful for like each one of you, and 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 just feels more in the moment than ever before. Like, I've been feeling the ache of you being here, kind of compromised today, and what it takes to, hit your snooze so many times, like 8 times, to wake up to come be with us, and that your belly is not feeling good, and there's a part of me that wants to kind of growl you away and be like, human first, go take care of your body, you shouldn't be here. But there's another part of me that's like, if I was feeling floaty like you're talking, I would probably hold myself here too, because I could, and you can't most of the other time now. So you're working to be here because you value it more, now that you have less access to these spots. And so I'm holding the treasure of your pain and sacrifice in that, and I feel like I'm in this liminal pause of going, if this is the end of the bridge for now or forever, I am more full than when I started it. And that's no small thing with the kind of loss that I have been through in community building. And so it is a pain, but it is also a kind of awe, which is maybe partly why I picked this world. When we look at this sun, do we see a sunset or a sunrise? Do we see a storm brewing or a calm arriving? And what is it like to see both at the same time? And so yeah, my body's not well. My heart has sadness for other very hard things happening in my life, and yet there's like a soulfulness in me that is just in awe of how much I have gotten to learn your humanity and your resilience and my own through you. So many pause moments naturally happen in community systems. But I'm in a new kind of evolution, I think, of really trying to not pull for more than is there, just because of that insane urgency to be validated to some degree. Was it worth it if it dissolves right now? Maybe not for some. Maybe it's a disappointment, but maybe for a moment at least, I just get to fill myself with each moment we show up again and try this weird fucking thing called like telling the truth and not making it better, and just see what happens. I hope that in whatever shape we're all connected, I still get these little twinges of information knowing how you all are on your paths as we drift away or we come back. Bridgemakers might become a community that shows up once a year on camera, in person, whatever, and that is our rhythm, and we'll never discover it if we don't let ourselves rest and follow what is here instead of trying to bring more that isn't. So I'm kind of letting go because I can't hold on anymore, but I'm also letting go, because I'm in a big exhale in my life, and just kind of seeing these moments with each of you and saying, how can I regret bridge makers because of how we grew? How could I ever say it wasn't good enough? And that in itself is kind of a beautiful grace moment. So so I do have ache, but I also have a very, very quiet gratitude in me of, like, getting to meet you, Axel, from playing Palia once or twice together, and all the joy that brought us, that propelled you from this 2D game where we only texted all the way into this liquidy space. There's just so many stories woven from so many places around the world that it's just kind of, when it slows down, there is a part of me that can just marvel at what we've all done and not want to miss that because it's not big. Everybody says it's a good community if it's always growing, but maybe the real community is the permission to grow whatever direction we need, even if it's far away from each other. How do I trust that it's enough? And when I zero in on the relationships that we've built together, I stop that urgency and I just go, wow, you showed up again. Thank you. Who am I to say that this wasn't always meant to be just this? Yeah. So, anybody that wants to.
For that feeling.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's a parting and a greeting and a proportion of, I thought it was this big lighthouse, this massive bridge in the sky, but when we get close up to it, it's really like a cartoon mini golf lighthouse. And that's beautiful too. You can't even climb it. And that's okay. It's just such a treat to see each of you and meet you, and and touch people through our live stream. We're live streaming right now, and every once in a while people come into these spaces after having watched us for weeks or months and just saying, they know right how to fit into our events. They've been following us as their little podcast. So I love that we're investing in future bridge makers that we maybe aren't watching yet, but will join us someday, maybe, if we're still here. Yeah. Lau got little. Are you getting sleepy, Lau?
Now it becomes a huge lighthouse.
Oh. Oh, you change your perspective by being tiny. Clever. Yeah, we play with this, right? We let ourselves shift our sizes. We let ourselves shift our emotions. We are scientists of being human together, and learning what that means, even when it sucks. We go through shit together here, in pretty and icky spaces. So I thank you for hearing my little monologue there. Anyone want to raise their hand and try to just reflect one thing back you heard? You're welcome to. And if not, I don't necessarily need a reflection tonight, and we can just move on. But I welcome any. Yeah.
There was something that you said that I thought was really, really awesome. The idea of being able to, express something, or even just get something off your chest, and allowing there to be more space in your mind to get maybe other inspiration, or like you were saying, changing your perspective to see things differently. You become open to that, and I think that's really, really cool. And a good thing to reiterate, because sometimes people get stuck and they just get this sort of maybe even negativity. They kind of get stuck in all of that, and that's all they see. And like you were saying, opening up that space in your mind to allow the positivity and is a
Mhm.
really great piece of advice in general. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for hearing that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, many of the people here have heard me really express the ache, that it's painful to be a community leader, especially of community leaders that are birthing themselves and just, incubating community leaders is like a really tough task. Um, but when they get their wings going and they start to paddle on their own and really get a sense of their groove, you can't beat that. That's a lifetime of swimming ahead of them. And being their initiate is like an incredibly sacred honor. So, yeah, thank you for hearing that. It is lovely to make space in the vacuum to just be. Yeah, yeah, Theo.
Yeah, I thought it was, just uh, complete pinpoint everything that you had said into it. The whole what grows me expands, that goes past the moments that we share, the moments who we
Mm,
are, and it
mm,
shows how different we are, but then how unique that experience was to be in each other's presence, to have us grow in a way that never taught me
mm,
how I could have grown like this. How
mhm,
something you mentioned once,
mm,
how something that is hurting me grows.
mhm. Oh, feels like you saw the new video that just came out. Yeah, yeah. But I've said that, I'm sure, a million different ways. Like, we are taught when we grow up with parents that try to soothe us when we cry. And I'm not advocating for letting children cry endlessly. I want to make that really clear. But we are taught that being in pain is bad and actually hurts the people who feel the pain with us. And that's not necessarily true. But because we are in these little boxes with one or two parents at most who are expected to be our whole village system, which is not a natural part of our humanity. That is not how we grew up for most of our existence. We were in villages and had many aunties and uncles that would pass us on to each other and take turns. And so that confined space creates a lot of vacuum and collapse and overwhelm that shuts us down from feeling our feelings and becoming aware of what is the need, what is the growth, what is the wisdom in this place of ache. And so and so especially in VR, where mostly we're here as emotions and vibration and pixels. We're not here as bodies that can touch each other, that can hug each other. Um, Even though the phantom touch and all of that, it's just not physical. And physical slows us down and wires us with each other. And so we gain the speed with each other that's like kind of a high. It's like, wow, it's all the fun. But we I find so few places in VR that find value in being in the ick, um, and letting it grow and letting it pass, and making space for the I don't have enough for you, and saying that out loud and still staying with each other. Like, that to me is my life love, my lifelong learning, is how to stay when I'm not enough for you, and how to say goodbye when it's true. Those are hard things to learn. I don't think I'll ever get it, but this is the experiment we practice together. Thank you for that.
You said too, like how being wanting the moment to stay forever, like that, like being able to live a moment with each other with understanding, to 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 grow where we need to grow, or to be where we need to be, and always coming back together. I had a kind of conversation like that with Teacups, where he's been in a difficult place, but I said to him, you know, it's important when things are difficult that we come back together, because that's what being friends are. Friends are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I will misunderstand you. And, you know, Jay and I have known each other for years, and we have moments where we snag and we get more quiet together, and sometimes we get more distant. It's rare for for us, but it does happen, right? And that coming back is the part that is for us, I think it's mostly been a very soft journey. It doesn't feel like, okay, let's fix it now. But but for some relationships it is like that, where we have to come back and say, "Hey, I'm sorry." And just kind of start there. But I think in here that's a really hard thing to slow down and practice as just kind of a culture. We flip into the archetypes with each other, and then it just becomes, no, I'm done with you. It is my health to ban you out of my life as a toxic person. You are evil. And I say that kind of cartoonishly, but I swear to you how many times I hear that like weekly from leaders.
I've had it happen to me too.
Yeah, from leaders
Exactly the
about
same thing.
leaders. This happens constantly. And it's just like, oh my God, if we lose empathy for each other as leaders, like, wow, we've lost ourselves. So, yeah, there's a lot here. There's so much here. And having people that are, yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was just gonna say this when you were asking to reflect back what I heard from what you were sharing about, you know, your pain point. What was, I think, comforting to hear was that it was worth it. What I heard is that, and I realized, and like when I heard you speak, it was as if I was hearing it was worth it.
My friend, did you accidentally mute
In many
yourself?
ways.
Oh, okay, you're back.
No, I think I just
Yeah.
yeah, I said what it was a full circle moment, because this is sort of like what I've always said Bridgemakers is more of a support group for community builders, people who, you know, in every stage of community building, right? And so to hear you say it was worth it and I'm okay with the lull right now, and because I know in my mind, I heard you say, because I'm doing my best, I'm doing everything I can, I have no more to give, I'm going to trust the rhythms, as we would say, right? And just see, you know, because there's a lot bubbling up right now, but you're also, like you said, you use the word exhale. You're in the exhale right now, you know. And I heard so much gratitude in your voice when you said that, so that was very comforting. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. And for somebody who has watched me literally, like, well, not literally, but in every way possible, burn with it is not worth it. This was not worth it. It is an important moment. And so, yeah, and I want to allow what you just wrote, people having more kindness. Yes, and when people don't have kindness, you know, my big mountain that I climbed this week was getting some poison out of my body with somebody who rejected me and said, I neither want to be connected to you as a person or as a leader. And that was tough, right? But I got to build a bridge this week. I feel like my brain was almost feverishly like trying to deconstruct this problem, and I got to build a next layer of wisdom around community values and how to not weaponize your community has values, my community has values, and how do we not weaponize those values against each other and be like, my values are cooler than yours, Axel, and like you're not worthy to be, like that's what happened here, right? And we naturally, as human beings, are going to start to define ourselves off of each other. But when it becomes entire community systems that start to be like, that community, they either are living up to their values, but their values suck, or they aren't living up to their values and they suck. What do you do with that? Like, I'm just happy when a community has any values listed. But this week I got to go to the next level and say, I missed something here. I think there's more. I think when communities are trying to orbit with each other, they've got to actually start to identify what values are going to conflict and how to build bridges in those values. And I built that allegory, the tale of two communities. It's a whole little pretty story with a table of community values that broke each other. So the pain fucking hurts, but the growth, when it does come through, is like such a relief. It's like, oh my God, yes, I learned new things this week from the pain. Yay. That doesn't happen every week. Okay, any other reflections that feel important to name before we hop? Oh my God, we're actually at 8. We're going to have to close here.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting to hop. Okay, well, we're going to do our appreciation game, which is just thank you for everybody sitting through a 2-hour circle. That's rare for us, but my brain was kind of broken today. It's still pretty swollen, so it's kind of good that my stomach's not moving around a lot. Thank you for your patience with that. So anybody want to name what our appreciation game is? We usually have 2 rules to this, with this invisible ball of swirling shadow and guck, but also the magic of rebirth, I imagine, is inside our invisible ball that we throw to each other, and we get silly with that. What are our rules for throwing that ball? Oh, and sometimes people emoji ball it.
Ball.
There is a ball too. Yes, there's a flat ball. Yes. How do we determine who to appreciate? Anybody remember?
Yeah, if it's okay to vocalize, the appreciation game is to find things that we find within each other and the time we spend with our words and our presence. What moved us and what grew us and what taught us in a way that we were able to listen and find things that were something that moved or showed us a newer perspectives on things with each other and ourselves.
Yeah, that's the soul of the game for sure. Thank you for naming that, Theo. And also it can be as simple as, when I felt nervous, I looked at your avatar and I felt calmer. It does not have to be I see your soul. But the rules of the game are to stretch ourselves not into picking the easy person to appreciate, but to picking the person who is least expecting us to appreciate them. That's the trick of this that keeps it from becoming a clique. And it also stretches us to recognize that whenever we get the ball, we might not get to appreciate the person we thought we wanted to. And so this makes us practice a culture of always noticing everybody a little bit and learning a little bit off of each other, just in case for Peggy's going to throw an appreciation game at us so that we're ready. So for the newer people, I know this can be a little anxiety provoking, and just know we're a warm bunch and we coach you along, and there's no fault here. But trying to pick just one person and one thing that we'll carry with us when we offer that appreciation. Who would like to grab the ball first? It's just bouncing in the middle there. Who wants to get it? Oh, Jay's getting it. All right. Jay got it. Who you throwing it?
I'm going to throw it to Tinchi. There
Pitchy,
you
catch
go.
the ball. Oh, you got it. First try. Well done.
Yeah. And so what I appreciate about you is that this is your first meetup, as far as I understand.
Mhm.
Kind of just stumbled into it and you stuck with it and you added some really great um, presence and listening. So I appreciate you being here. And I saw that you joined Bridgemakers group. So welcome to Bridgemakers.
Yay.
Thanks. No, I thought this was a fantastic, unexpected. How do I put it? Delightful surprise. So I should put it. Very nice. You guys are very warm and compassionate, and this is not what I was expecting. I mean, I didn't expect people to be mean, but I was not expecting an open, heartfelt sort of real conversation, because it's very rare. It's happened before, but it's very rare, and to get it as a surprise makes it even better. So thank you guys for having me. And
Lovely.
I did join off of Carl
Yay.
just to say hi, but I think it was really fortunate that I was able to stumble upon this.
Well, it's good that you stayed on Blue
Glad I
then,
was on
Carl.
Blue.
It was a good, yeah.
Usually it's more intentional that if I know I'm on Blue, I'll go grab people that join off me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were away when I was talking about being on Orange, so
Yeah.
but I did point him out. I was like, Carl's on Blue. This person's on.
Jay named the whole rainbow. But yeah, we have
Yeah.
happy accidents every once in a while where people don't feel like assaulted by a circle sitting on the ground. They feel like, what is this? I want to know more. So I'm going to guess that was kind of your appreciation thrown at Carl, but do you want to throw your ball at Carl, or do you want to throw it at somebody else? Or was that just a general?
Well,
is there somebody you want to give it to?
I'll just throw it to you specifically, since you seem to be the kind of the leader of this particular group. So I think I think more people should do stuff like this. So I wanted to say thank you for doing this, and I really needed this personally. Just to be able to be open and honest and have positive vibes happening, even if there is criticism, it's still done with a compassion and sincerity. So it's very nice. So very brilliant that you guys pulled this together. It's very nice.
Thank you, Tenchi. That's really good to hear. You got a lot of insight for this being your first group. Yeah, that's also really nice to hear about the compassionate criticism. I do give feedback, as you all know and have endured many times. And I give feedback because I know most people are never going to give you this feedback. And I'm totally fine if you're just like, she doesn't know anything. I'm like, all right, I don't know anything. But I know that sometimes it really does give you the tweak you need to see a whole new path ahead of you. And so I nudge you here and there and try to give it to you in public so other people can take from it, even if it was a projection that was misaligned at you. So good. Thank you. I'm going to throw this to... Oh, there's so many options. I'm not used to this. I gotta throw it to you, Axel. And I saw your ear twitch, so we're gonna go with you caught it. Axel, I feel like you are in another dimension to some degree, talking to us. But I will tell you that since you first joined, probably a few months ago, and made it through your first Friday night meetup, I have gone back to that moment of taking you to that world and you getting to see the moment in time and just how deeply you took that group in. I've gone back to that moment multiple times during dark spots since then, and just felt like a sense of peace of going, we could reach somebody in another dimension on a desktop that is in grad school and is doing just so many things that have nothing to do with VR and doesn't even have a headset. And we could reach you, and you let it in. You let it in deep. And then you came back again. And that all comes from being silly, hunting magical deer in a game called Palia. You know, like, that's a weird story, but we did that. And I had a place for you to land, and now we're building connection. And that's kind of a miracle. And so I love the miracle every time you show up and you speak. Of we keep building a little more connection through this bridge. Thank you for being here and letting it in.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think I'm going to
Oh.
pass the ball. I think I'm going to go with Carl.
Carl.
Just the fact that you are here with everything
Mm.
and still being so present
Mm.
and like able to just find that moment of respite with this group and community.
Mm.
And like I think also just this world. I just want to throw it to this world as well, because like as we were talking and everything, I just kept looking at the lighthouse and then just thinking like, no matter how far we go in our separate ways, like the light from the lighthouse will just keep pulling back into.
Yeah, it is a good anchoring point here.
Oh.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Mm.
I think I will toss it over to Lau. Like Aya said, when you popped in, we don't usually see you at this one.
Mm-hmm.
And me not being able to come to Sunday stuff, I'm glad to see you here.
Mm.
That was the main spot I crossed paths with you.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not able to wake up at 6 in the morning or be awake at least anymore because I'm starting my life soon. Well, I would throw the ball to Meeting.
Mm.
Actually, I would like to throw it to Jay because there's something that actually put me into the instance right now is the ping, because Bridgemaker, I've joined a lot of community recently, and the ping actually made me wonder, why is this red? Why is there a new message? And I scroll down, yeah, it's Bridgemakers. It's the ad here.
Oh. Gave a
I'm glad
signal.
it helped you show up. Yeah, great.
Yeah, if not, I wouldn't
We
be here. I was like, oh, I'm done with breakfast. Let's check Discord. And why am I getting pinged? Oh, okay, yeah, that explains.
There you go.
Because I woke up at 7:30 and I was like, I can join the event today, but and then I forgot.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, it's the lighthouse. The ping was the lighthouse, as Axel says.
Apparently, yeah. Lovely.
It's the here ping. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to throw it to Theo. No arms.
It landed on
I got
Theo's
it.
head.
Yeah,
Yes.
You got it. You got it.
It's balancing.
Yeah.
on my head.
And I'm just appreciative of the comment that you made earlier about what the appreciation game is about, which is, the soul. It's connecting. It's really getting to the root of what appreciation really is, right? And so I wanted to acknowledge you for that, and always appreciate when you're here and sharing.
Yeah, I was gonna even say something that may have added to your appreciation, because I almost wanted to ask Jay, what happened to Friday night or Friday 1 p.m. game day? I was like, I just bought Silk Song for the first time. I wanted to show everybody.
Oh,
the event.
Oh wow. Well,
Yay.
we'll definitely make it happen. I mean, it's still going to happen. It's just a matter of really, um, for whatever reason, I need to figure out like get it auto subscribed so that at least I'm on there every week. But I just take that as like it's a given that I'm going to show up for my own events. But I guess it's not. So, but we just recently switched over to 3 or more before we cancel, just because a lot of times I was just holding the space and waiting to see who shows up versus going off the RSVP system. But I would love to, I love doing the event, so I'm happy to do it whenever we can. So it'll happen again. We're gonna, we're growing with it. It was Molly's in the beginning, and so we're just figuring out what's working, and we're changing the time and everything else, and we're also trying to get more structure around it so that we don't have those uncomfortable moments every now and then that we have, but we explore them together, so it's all good. Yeah.
And
So it'll happen.
Full transparency, I did, you might not have seen it, but I did enact the rule. So maybe we need to talk about this, that like an event that is canceled 3 times in a row puts it on pause indefinitely until there's a renegotiation out of respect for the leadership. We put that rule in place a while back. So, so if you can get
this
3
is the
people
second time,
to...
right?
This is the second time. If you can get 3 people to RSVP for next Friday, then we'll keep it going, and that resets that clock. But a lot of community leaders don't have boundaries like this, and then they just eat the dust of an empty event space over and over until they lose a sense of like worth at all. So when somebody enacts the 3 or more rule, which is what I enacted for myself, this secondary rule does come into place, which is if it's not valuable enough, then we need to just stop and see what we're going to do different. Revamp it, call it something else, do it in VR. There could be all kinds of things, but we need thought partners and helpers to motivate it and get the fire going again. So yeah, boundaries and bridges. That is the endless thing I say. Okay, my dears, would you all like to get a photo? And we will close our evening together. Where shall we photo ourselves?
Around the lighthouse.
Yeah, around
if
the
you
lighthouse.
angle it low,
Actually,
kinda, you could.
Yeah.
There's no collider on the lighthouse. So you'll go into it. So I guess it's in front of it. I don't think you can sit on it, can you?
No.
Right? Oh,
you can
hover
pretend
it.
to sit on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We got really fancy. We could all get on each other and get up at the top. But it was good. Such a cool little group. Just think, Jesus Christ would be like, they sat on water. Okay.
I was about to mention something from that too.
So what is our word for tonight? Just throw out any word and we'll see what sounds the loudest.
Lighthouse.
No. Low.
Crisscrossing on water.
Meow.
Crisscross. Meow. All right. We haven't ever had a sound for a word. Let's call it meow. Let's be like meow. That's our word for tonight. Meow. Oh. You all sound like such cranky cats. I love it. Thank you, everybody. All right. I will get around to posting that hopefully soon on our events page. And yeah, what's
thank
cool?
you to you for showing up and braving through being not feeling well, and Carl as well. Our 2 facilitators. Yeah.
Sorry to hear you guys aren't feeling well. That sucks.
Well,
we get better.
I think you're feeling better than when you arrived. It feels like it.
For me, my voice, if you notice, if you go back and watch this recording, let's say goodbye to our viewing audience of like probably 3 people.